Hello, Thiago here. So today I'm going to talk about this bundle that I have just uploaded to GitHub. It's public. Everybody can check the files and install. So I added the notes here so you can see how to install with easy platform. It's really simple. The steps are common to any Symfony bundle installation. Um, the only thing different is that you must create a table, then import the MySQL data. So that is it. The name of the bundle is Action Bundle. And right now it works more like a proof of concept than something that you could be using on a production installation. So just keep in mind that it's just a proof of concept at this point. The goal is to find the prototype ways to improve the editorial experience, creating tools to make the content creation smarter. And I'm going to talk about the several ideas in this extension. So let's start here. Um, I I had previously uploaded some YouTube videos about this bundle, but until this point it was not public, and I stopped working on this. So this weekend I decided to work a little bit more and added some support to English because most of the features were focused in Portuguese. And so the English features are not 100% complete. So actually, even the Portuguese features are not 100% complete. So there are uh, a lot of space for improvements. But the main idea here is to show the concepts that I'm planning to expand at some point. So let's first talk about the autocompletion. So if you start typing, for example, test, you can see here there are words that are suggested, and you can just click here and it works like an autocompletion feature for the Easy Platform editor. So this is the Portuguese one. So for example, if I type here Brazil, then if you type Z, it's not going to suggest anything because Brazil in Portuguese is with S. And there's no suggestion for Brazil actually, but you have other words here. The list is based in the most commonly used words. So so Brazil is actually not a common used word according to this database, this text text data that I have here. So keep that in mind as well. But there are actually many words. Um, I did the same thing for English. So if you start typing here, for example, money, you can type here. So there are some it's actually the same principle here. So the number of words that we check are limited to the words that are the most common ones. So do not expect that we are going to have the auto suggestion for everything. Let me try another word here. Yeah, suggestion. Yeah, okay. So this is the auto completion idea. As you can see, there are space for lots of improvements. we could think about adding more words to the file that we are using to check that. Um, this also we have some other features. So the second part of this extension that we are going to check are those features here: synonyms, antonyms, ending with, starting with, and containing. So this is also working for both Portuguese and English. So if you select part of the word here, like this one here, and click ending with, you are going to get some results like this in Portuguese. Then in English, the same idea. Yeah. So can get a lot of results in this case. Ending with, yeah. And then we have also starting with, same for Portuguese. We can try this, starting with. So this works like one way to improve the text creation. So if you want some, if you create some poem and you need to think about words that ends with something, that you can use this feature here. Then containing, containing is actually it works like ending or starting. So if you selected this and type containing, you can see in this case the results here. No, all mean. So you can see this here. Now let's see capta containing. Yeah. This is actually checking. This is not. There is something wrong here. As you can see, it's in this specific feature is checking only for Portuguese, so I need to fix the code. But for starting with, it's checking for English correctly, ending with same. So I need to fix the containing here. But for Portuguese, you can see that it's working like expected. And so also the synonyms and the antonyms that I have added this feature as well. So for example, if you select a word here and check for synonyms and antonym, this is the Portuguese results. And then for English, you'll have this one here as well. It's working for both language. And in this case here, the data for synonyms and the antonyms are separate from the data for example, the autocompletion. So this is why, for example, we can, there might be samples of words that are not suggested in the autocompletion list, but you might find here. I'm trying to find. So let me try to find. It's not returning. So you can see that we have many words in the database at this point, but the English dictionary is really, really large, and expected that you will be finding several words that are not in the database or do not have synonyms and antonyms at all. But yeah, you can see here that we have a lot. Let me try this one here. And there's also, for example, a problem that if we select words in plural, they might not be in the database, but the singular one, the singular version of the word, it's in the database. So you can see it. This provinces is not, the word provinces is not in the database, but the word province in the singular is. So you can see here this example. The third part of this extension that I'm going to talk about is the text analysis. So I added some features for text analysis, for example, long sentence. So this feature make highlights the texts, the paragraphs that are too large, like this one here, too many words in a single paragraph. I don't remember the threshold. I think it's like 25 words, but you can adjust. You can check the code and adjust the way that you want. The other feature is this equals. So words that repeats in the not in the same paragraph, but the same part of the text. So we have also a threshold here of the amount of words that we are going to check. So if the same word repeats in that threshold, we show here. So in this case, the editor could just check and try to find another word to replace so the text does not look so bad, like keep repeating the same word several times. So you could use a synonym word. Those features are also available for the Portuguese one. Equals, they work quite well for Portuguese and English. Then we have the other features that I have worked and made it to work a little bit better in Portuguese than in English, but we could improve this. Actually, if you download this and you you could edit and make those features better for your own language, but in my case, for example, non-neutral, this is something that I see more in Portuguese than in English. So in Portuguese, we have several words that varies according to the gender. And the idea is that when you are writing text in Portuguese, it's really, really common that you write the pronoun for example, the male, and then when you are writing the adjective for that pronoun, it's really common that you you type the adjective wrong and you use the female adjective, and then if you have this visual highlighting here, it should be easy to spot those cases because, for example, you would see a, a blue highlighting followed by a pink one, and then you would say, oh, maybe I should change this accordingly. For English, I think I added something here for example, if you put she and his, her, him, I put something and it should highlight as well for example this, but it's not very complex. Maybe yeah, and there are some false positives here, but yeah, the English one is really it's really simple. It needs improvement. Also superlatives, no flexion. So in Portuguese it highlights the singular versus plural words. I don't think this is working quite well in English. Oh, flexion. Yeah, flexion is not working at all for English. Superlatives, we spot the words that we use in the text that are superlative, for example, Portuguese, ou melhor. And then in English, you can see here largest, longest, largest, most, highest, largest. So you can spot those words. Then uncertainties, maybe. So you can see this here. It's spotted. Um, then uncertainties here. And so right now we have those features relate to text analysis. So this is just one idea on how you could use algorithms to help editors to do some common tasks and see um, stuff while editing here, so superlatives and long sentences, so they can just click here and see the long sentence, and they can work on that, trying to make the sentences smaller and easier to read. So this is just some samples on how to make the editorial process smarter. And then finally, classify paragraphs. This is something that I have been working, and it's really in a proof of concept stage here. So the idea is that for this, so this is the last features that last feature that I want to show today. The idea is that we are going to use evolutionary algorithms to improve text classification data. So, for example, I added a really simple example where we try to highlight definition paragraphs and separate them from other paragraphs. So you could spot paragraphs that are definitions of, for example, the definition of Canada, for example, or that are important to the definition of Canada. So for example, I click here, and then there are several paragraphs that are highlighted. Then in Portuguese, the same. Let me clear. So Portuguese, you can see some paragraphs that are highlighted. This is something that has plenty of space for improvement. Right now, it's just a proof of concept on how we could use some text classifiers, for example, SVM and naive Bayes for text classification. And the extension provides an evolutionary algorithm. So we provide some some training data and validation data, and the evolutionary algorithm is going to start with the test data and then use articles from Wikipedia to improve the the training data and get a better results. So we would end up with a better classifier. Let me show something here in the terminal. So for example, we have this command here. So you can see that it starts with 77% accuracy, then it improves to 79%, 80%, and then 82 and 83. So this algorithm keeps running for several iterations. So you can make it as accurate as you want. Just keep in mind that if you make it too accurate, it might not produce the desirable results. Uh, but the idea is that at the end, we are going to get a, a better module than the initial one with the initial data that we provide for the training set. And then we could use the modules to classify the text that we want. So in this case, I'm using for paragraph classification to try to find definitions, but SVM and naive Bayes text classification is used for several purposes. For example, identifying email spam from non-spam, and you could even think about other types of paragraph, or instead of just definition, you could spot historical data paragraph or economical data paragraphs, and anything that you can imagine. Probably you could do with this classification algorithms. So right now, as you can see, it's just a really early stage here, and it's really proof of concept. But the idea is that we could use this bundle for reference and to build our um, foxed applications on top of this, or to start other applications on top of this. And yeah, so it's available on GitHub. I hope somebody else check this. And yeah, that is it for now. Have a nice weekend, everybody, and bye.